device, as in I'm on the iPhone. Mainly because, yeah, Tony's calling the dogs for their brekkie. It is a bit of a smaller place, so you may hear some background noise. And I did discover that I have left the charger to the iPad at home. So that has now gone completely flat. We have, not the iPhone, the iPad. Or did I say that? Gee, I get confused with what I say, don't I? But anyway, I'm still able to go live here, as you can see, using my iPhone and the Be Live mobile app. So can still keep going. And we've got Kat here this morning. Good morning, Kat. And I can't see any of the other comments yet. Kim. And there we go. Kim's here this morning and saying hello to Tony and the puppies. So that's lovely. And we've got Renna. Good morning to you, Renna. Lovely to see you here. And the comments on this one go by fairly fast, so I'm trying to keep up, and which means I'm not looking direct at the camera each time. So good morning, Raywin. We've got Shaz this morning. Sharon, good morning, Sharon. Lovely to see you here. We've got Caitlin. Good morning to you, and to the puppies. He's got and the puppies, so that's cool. Thank you. Now I'll just scroll back to see if I've missed anyone, because they do actually scroll off on this, I've noticed, but that's not what we're here for, is to keep on saying hellos. We're here for our daily Lenormand card spread reading. I have got the cards out. You may have noticed that I put the photo in my profile, in a post in my profile. So I'll switch the camera around when I remember which one it is. I think it's that one there. So it is still a bit difficult with the one hand, I can tell you. At 8, here we are. And good morning, Sarah. Lovely. Oh, I love those 4-leaf clovers. Oh, you don't want to see the curtain. Here we go. There's those. Let's see what we've got for our card spread. And yes, there is some reflection, shadows. So that's our 5 card spread this morning. So what we've got is our home in the home space. And I thought, well, isn't that, it's always great to see a very relevant card for the energy of what we're reading. And home in the home space, perfect. Then we've actually got the coffin in the workspace. So that's going to be an interesting interpretation, isn't it? And we've got the ship in the unexpected, and that's where it was yesterday. And we have the books or book in our role, and then we've got the final word, or the outcome is that of the birds, and in this instance it's the extended card, part of the extended deck, that we actually have the owls more specifically. Okay, so where we're starting with home in the home space, it really is about that hospitality and creating the home for your home, making it your home energies really a lot stronger. And I'm sorry if I'm wobbling, but I am. It's hard holding a phone with one hand. I haven't got a selfie stick or anything to hold it steady for me. We found the stand that clamps to the desk, but not the attachment that holds the phone itself. Don't know where that went. So you're working to death today. That's already relevant. Oh, goodness. And we'll move over now too, because I think really the home card in the home space is almost self-explanatory, but what I'm sensing there is more that I can't point with this. Let's point with that. No, I haven't got that. Yeah, one-handed. The openness to hospitality and that door for people to feel welcome. That's what I'm feeling with that. And working to that, you mentioned, Rina, that working to death today. Does that poke up? Yeah, working to death today. That's already relevant. Look, it just means there's something in the work that you're doing today that is going to be completed, and it will be finished, packed off and sent off where it's meant to be. That's what I'm sensing from that instance of having it saying, you're feeling like you're working to death, Rena, but it is. You're going to be completing something that's going to be very satisfying to shift it off today. And good morning, Vicky. Lovely to see you here. So don't feel too nonplussed or disappointed or whatever that you've got the coffin card in the workspace today. It's all relevant, it's all good. It's because what we really need to be doing is shifting our focus to being that which we want. What are you actually aiming for, and where are you actually going? This is direction and unexpected things. So you're going to be able to shift perspective, shift direction, shift your levels up, up and down as well. It's not just in the forward and the backwards. This being that sort of an airship, it's got maneuverability in any direction swiftly if you want it, or set it to just the sail with the winds and let it flow, go where it flows, that wind where it takes you. I'm feeling it, but ultimately it is you who is at the rudder, that you have that skill and ability to steer it where you need it to, and even the speed, really. Unless, of course, you're going to decide to let that flow go where it needs to. Okay. And Tara, hi, how are you? As you can see, my hand's sort of improving. Oh, you can't see, I'll show it later. Um, what you've got there is the thumb, which is easier to point. Now, books in your role, it is taking the learnings from whatever your experience is today, even if you're needing to actually look things up to help you along the way, especially with what is your workspace to get those things complete. It could be that you're actually even finishing in that workspace, finishing something that you're writing too, and or doing research and that type of thing. This is the connection. It can be the connection of what is the meaning for that coffin card being in the work. Because as you remember, each of these energy bases, from home to work, unexpected, your role, they're all interconnected, remember. There's none that sits on its own. So hi, now that's Colleen. I'm just trying to get my focus on the little writing on the iPhone. Ah, hi there, Colleen. So you're in Australia. Great to see you. Great to see you. And here we've got Chelsea. Hi, how are you? These readings in the mornings are not an individual read. These are a general card spread reading for whoever is watching and what you're tuning into that means something to you from this set of cards in the layout that I've got it. So I'll just hold it up again to give you the overall view there. That was Chelsea, wasn't it? Yeah. Let me have a look. I've just got it. It's not easy. So you're in the US. Oh, it's your evening. Wow. Nice to have you here. Thank you. And Colleen, I have already answered that one, okay? As far as the, what's it, Great Libra? Oh, yes. So yeah, I have already answered the question about individual reads. I don't do those in this section in the morning. That will be Wednesday night with Leanne Winston, Psychic Medium, or Friday nights with us combined, actually. If I can manage it this Friday, it'll still be going ahead at 8:30. Same channels. Okay. So here with the owl cards, after we've actually gained what we need to, either in the wisdoms from the books we're reading or what we're writing and sharing with others, completing for our work or not, it's moving into what the communication card of the birds is. And this is in our outcome energies, as far as the type of base that this card is read with is outcome or summary or overall central meaning, because it is in the center. It's what you put to it with the meaning, where the emphasis for this energy is going to be flowing. So I use it as an outcome reflection card, sort of by the end of the day. What is the overall feeling about what I've learned? What the pulling all of the cards and their meanings together and what's happened in my day. It could be that you really have worked through a lot of things in the day that gives you that beautiful sense of wisdom with what the owls bring, because owls are recognised as that really wise bird, wise creature. So I'm just going to highlight that. I'm hoping that comes up, Sarah. So search, yeah, oh, thank you so much. Yes, it's search rosboundy.com.au, and there is avenues of booking for me. I do it in a similar way of recording your reading so that I then send you an unlisted YouTube video that you can enjoy at any point in time. So that's mostly how I do them. If you want to join me on one of your own readings, you can certainly book a time on my calendly.com/rosboundy, and you'll see options there too if you want to join me as a one-to-one over a Zoom and actually have your own reading recorded that way. So there's different ways of doing it. Otherwise, just message me. And we've got Bonetta here. Good morning, Bonetta. Lovely to see you here too. So I'm just going to hold that above again to give you the good summary, and I'm going to flip it now to the ceiling and then me. There is that little moment of, is it going to work because I've hit the right or wrong button? So it's interesting, isn't it? So for those, oops, sorry. Yeah, I've already done that. I hit the screen. For those of you who haven't been with me for my full journey of what's happened with my hand, so here I have the hand in a splint at the moment, and this is why it's a bit awkward and wobbly for me with the doing this video, because I'm having to handle it one hand for starters. The fact I am actually only in mobile situation, which is the iPhone or the Samsung phone. The iPad went flat. Now with this thumb, it just needs repair. The tip of the thumb was repaired, and it's going to take at least 4 more weeks in the splint, as far as I'm aware, or it could be longer. Who knows? So it's getting that sort of thing repaired. So it's with that understanding. I find it a bit difficult to shuffle, but I've found ways around it, like we do. When we're determined to do something, we just set our mind to it and do it, don't we? So it's the same thing when we're actually asking for guidance from spirit. We need to, the first thing is putting that connection in place and trusting what you're receiving, trusting that connection, that how you communicate. You look at those owls there that we've got right in the center, how you're communicating with your spiritual guidance. Are you connecting strongly, or are you just playing at it? Is it something that you're, why did I say that? Because Spirit's telling me to remind you, you're needing to actually connect with them in a real conscious way, because they can't, well, they know us, but they can't do anything unless we're consciously aware of what that asking is and what that connection is, and that we are actually feeling the soul of who we are to connect with them as who they are within our soul, if you get what I mean. I think that came out right. So, and and Sarah, you're saying you hope I'm resting up over here. Well, I am. It was cold and wet this morning. It has rained. And as I was just starting that waking path this morning, you know how sometimes, and I do need to share this because I think it's important why I got the message. As I was waking this morning and the rain was just starting to come down, and I was in that zone, and you do relax and connect, and that's where I find my connection with spirits the strongest. Besides those 3 o'clock wake ups they make us have sometimes. But it was this morning that I had this really significant for me message. But I feel it was something that I needed to share this morning as part of today, our readings today. It was the question we sometimes ask and how appropriate the coffin card is in there anyway. Once we've moved on from this world, what's left behind? What is our legacy? What influence have we actually had that people remember us? And because I've had a lot of experience in that wondering over the last couple of years, with people important to me who have passed away or died. I mean, we all use different words for it, who've crossed over, who've moved on, all of that. And you do start to wonder sometimes what is left afterwards. We can see it. We know in our hearts what those memories are that we have. But it was this morning, it was a really vivid dream message in full colour, in its brilliance, like it was just there for me, a conversation with. But it was the showing of the multitudes. And it was answering that question. It really was using the image of that question, what are we here for? And then the answer coming back, you've got, and I'm happy to be here to, it was that response from my inner being to, I'm happy to be here if it's only been the one person, and I can't hold up one finger, the one person, there's the thumb, the one person, even if it's only one person who I will have been able to say that I've directly influenced in my life, that's gone on to influence another and another, that's made some important change for them in their life. And the whole answer came back to me of the globe in the hand of this. And it was certainly along the line, it was more an ancient Chinese, those that standing army that was found somewhere, stone immortalized. I just can't remember. It was the whole, around the earth, this globe had all the people standing, putting their hand up, as in, I'm one, I'm one, I'm one. But it started with me, my first influence being my twin sister in vitro, not in vitro, in uterus, and moving on to whatever connections we've had in each and every day of our life. That one person that's right close to us that we feel we've been connecting with, moving on to the next person and the next person and the next person. We are not alone. We are in this world together as a wholeness, a humanity. We can't say that we've only influenced just one. We are influencing the whole of humanity in everything we do and say. And there is nothing that's right or wrong about how that works, how we do it. We just be who we are, because that's where that connection is to influence the next person. Even if it's one word that you say, a sentence that you say, that then they change their pathway of what they're doing, or repeat that to someone else that gives the influence to someone else, and onward and onward and onward. We aren't by ourselves in this world in our influence. We aren't just having an effect on one person. We are bringing together humanity in the wholeness of how our influence is with just being me. And that's exactly the same with each and every one of you, just being you. And I knew Spirit needed me to pass that on, because the dream this morning was just so strong. So I hope that you can take that to heart as well, as it may have for me. And if doesn't, it doesn't matter, because in whatever way that you're going to be stepping out in your day, you are part of the whole completeness of humanity by just being you. Okay, now I'm going to, instead of keeping on with that, thank you so much, Sarah. I've influenced you from the first person to drive on this journey and have passed it on. It's just being us that passes it on. It is energy, it's vibration, it's frequency, it's all that there is of who we are, moving, 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 vibrating. Just keep up being the best you that you can be. Okay. And I'm going to move through now. It looks like there might be a spammer, is there? Anyway, thank you so much, Kim. Look, it just really was dynamic as I had that dream. It really was. So thank you, each and every one of you. And thank you for that. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, with all these mobile devices. Well, 2 mobile devices working. I should be able to. So until then, namaste.